More and more people have been coming out of the woodwork as we've investigated this story. Whether they lost $1,000 or $10,000, the dozens of victims who found each other through social media all agree. NJH Hardscapes and Nick Hamby, the man behind it, rarely completed the work he promised, and many of their stories are the same. It all started with an innocent Facebook message.
It looked good and we wanted to support a small business in our area.
That's Nicole Madden of Metamora. She and her husband were in desperate need of a new porch. Keeping the old one would lead to foundation damage. They saw NJH Hardscapes advertising its services on Facebook and sent owner Nick Hamby a message. He replied instantly and quickly came to their home to quote them a price.
He was an amazing salesperson. He had all the information, all these great ideas, and the price was amazing.
Hamby said he could demo the old porch and build a new one for about $24,000. Madden paid him half in deposits, and then the excuses began.
Oh, sorry, this happened. I'll start in a couple more weeks. Oh, sorry, this happened. I'll start in another couple more weeks.
She wasn't the only one.
Every excuse in the book. The weather, I had this going on, my kids have an activity, my wife is sick.
Queen of Squash restaurant owner Heather Woolbeck asked Hamby to build the foundation for an outdoor patio. She worked with an architect to plan a covered area with heaters and windows for year-round use. Woolbeck is rare. Hamby completed the project, in part because she was adamant about meeting the grand opening deadline. The end product was subpar, and she says his behavior was worse.
The fence area was thrown together at the last minute. He was just a real jerk, was throwing wood, unprofessional.
Hamby was paid more than $20,000 for the patio. The city of Peoria will pay back half the cost to encourage more outdoor dining, but Woolbeck won't get those funds until the patio is complete, and she's back at square one.
I just spent $26,000, and now you tell me this entire fence has to be demolished.
So we got victim, victim, victim. It's all at a loss.
Joseph Viley of Washington has spent 6 months collecting information and building a case against Hamby. He paid NJH about $1,000 for this bricklaying, but Viley eventually had to complete the work himself.
Never showed up, never heard from him.
Viley, Woolbeck, and Madden's story is shared by at least 40 other people across Woodford, Peoria, Tazewell, and McLean counties. For most, the work is never started. Once customers were fed up with delays and asked for their money back, they were either given more empty promises or told he already spent the money on supplies. By the end of 2023, he was telling those wanting refunds that he was out of business.
As soon as we said we were done and we wanted our money back, and he just says, I don't have it, it was devastating.
Several of the victims filed complaints with the Illinois Attorney General's office, plus police reports with their local departments. Some even filed civil suits against Hamby and NJH Hardscapes and won. But now everything is held up after Hamby declared Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
If it's just business, but you hurt so many people, it's not about business anymore. You've done something wrong.
There's still more to this story. Coming up, we'll have the latest from bankruptcy court and looking at the possibility of criminal charges as Hamby prepares for an arraignment in Woodford County. Plus, we try to talk to the man behind it all. We said in our last report some of these victims won small claims lawsuits, but they haven't gotten any of their money back. That's because everything is on pause after NJH Hardscapes owner Nicholas Hamby and his wife filed for bankruptcy. And now a criminal charge looms over the situation. What about criminal charges in other counties? Here's what we found out.
Taking deposits and running, that's just contractor fraud. That's part of the game. It's everywhere. But someone local doing it to local taxpayers, citizens, friends, neighbors, church goers. That's not fair.
Joseph Viley has been gathering information from nearly 40 alleged victims of Nicholas Hamby and NJH Hardscapes for half a year. He shared that information with bankruptcy trustees and detectives, resulting in one criminal charge in Woodford County. Hamby is facing one charge of homeowner repair fraud, but does not currently face charges in other counties. We asked the Peoria Police Department and Peoria Sheriff if they were aware of or investigating NJH. Both agencies tell us they are currently looking into the case and could not share further details. Viley tells us an assistant state's attorney in Tazewell County said the department would not pursue criminal charges, instead keeping all cases against Hamby civil.
If you sign a contract and you promise to perform work for money that you're paid for, and you do not do that, or you know going into contracting that you do not do that, then you've committed straight up fraud.
The bankruptcy process is still ongoing, and his current criminal charge could come into play. Sean Cusack of Cusack and Gilfillan in downtown Peoria says the bankruptcy process is a way for someone to clean their slate of outstanding debts after making good faith efforts to pay them off. In January, Hamby's creditors were able to ask him questions through a virtual hearing. They say he pleaded the fifth often.
There was no, jaw drop. His eyes didn't grow any bigger. It was just a calm, flush face.
Hamby estimates he owes more than 100 people money in court filings, including approximately $10,000 to Club Cabaret and $20,000 to the IRS. When asked by the victims where their deposits went, Hamby once again pleaded the fifth.
I got nothing out of it, and he got $12,325. I don't know where it went.
Odds of somebody getting their entire money spent back are extremely slim. Odds of getting pennies of the dollar are pretty high. Odds of them getting nothing are pretty high. But there's a catch. There's a big catch. If these creditors or this debt is obtained, or this money is obtained through fraud, then it cannot be discharged through bankruptcy.
There's one piece missing from this story so far, and that's Nicholas Hamby. Through court and transaction records, we obtained his cell phone number, and when we called...
Hello.
Hello, is this Nick Hamby?
Who's calling?
This is Lizzie Siles from 25 News.
Excuse me?
This is Lizzie Siles with 25 News. We've had some people reach out to us regarding complaints with your hardscaping business.
I think you have the wrong number.
I shared the video with some of the victims who say that is definitely Hamby's voice. His bankruptcy attorney declined to comment because of the ongoing litigation. He did not have a criminal attorney on file yet in Woodford County. The dozens of stories may make for a stronger case in court.
The trick in proving it, though it's not terribly difficult, is intent. If somebody has a track record of this type of behavior, there's your intent right there. A lot of things are circumstantial this day and age, and that's circumstantial evidence of a guy who's intending to commit fraud.
Hamby will be arraigned on his one felony charge for home repair fraud on February 16th in Woodford County.